deceased man had been stabbed in the chest before the fire. They were also able to establish the identity of the deceased to be Mr. Victor Isongoyo. The police took Mrs. Enobong into custody as they began their investigation into uncovering the circumstances surrounding the tragic death of her husband. During their investigation, the police found out that Mrs. Enobong had filed a missing persons report on behalf of her husband just a day before he was found inside his burnt car. They also discovered that she had allegedly gone to her husband's office to inform them that her husband was missing. Mrs. Enobong was said to have also gone to the bank to withdraw the sum of 4 million naira from their joint bank account. The police also discovered that Mr. Victor's official car was missing. They traced the missing car to a compound where they discovered that the original vehicle registration plate number had been taken off and then replaced with a fake one. They would also later establish that the name on the official car documents had been changed to an entirely different one. The police arrested a tenant in the compound for questioning. Upon interrogation, the tenant informed them that the discovered car was parked by a fellow tenant who was a pastor. The police then tracked and arrested Pastor Udoka Ukachukwu for questioning. At the station, Pastor Udoka told the police that the said car was given to him by one of his daughters in church as a seed. The detectives then ordered him to take them to the said daughter. To their greatest surprise, the church daughter in question was Mrs. Enobong Isongoyo. Before the police began their investigations, Mrs. Enobong was said to have denied any involvement in her husband's death. However, after the pastor was arrested, she would go on to disclose details that would earn her a death sentence. Mrs. Enobong began to explain to the police how the car ended up in the pastor's possession. She told the police that when she noticed her husband was missing, she took her husband's new car to the pastor to sow as a seed in his church so that her husband would be found. She claimed she told the pastor to take the car to the church and that she didn't know he went on to change the plate numbers as well as the name on the car documents. Mrs. Enobong claimed she had asked the pastor to pray harder because she loved her husband and didn't want anything bad to happen to him. I guess at this point, the family had told the police about her pregnancy and how the late husband had denied being responsible for it. When the police asked Mrs. Enobong if she was having an extramarital affair with the pastor, she said, "God forbid," and denied ever having an affair with Pastor Udoka. She went on to shed light on their relationship. According to her, Pastor Udoka was a close and trusted family friend. She claimed they would give him clothes to go and share in the orphanage. She also said they trusted him so much that they would give him their ATM card so that he could withdraw the necessary funds needed to take care of their poultry whenever she travels with her husband. Mrs. Enobong also denied having any quarrel with her late husband.